it is time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook, the best place in Nebraska to place your sports bets. Make sure you get to the casino in Lincoln or in Omaha and get out there, see everything Warhorse has to offer. You can also check out warhorsecasino.com or download the Warhorse app to find out about all their promotions and get a full list of house rules. That's warhorsecasino.com.
Well, I smell bets.
DB, what are you laughing at over there?
Because I don't appreciate.
You're getting a little,
I don't appreciate how you looked at me or how you answered the question.
you seem really hurt right now.
Nah, I think it was uncalled for.
You doing all right?
You seem very hurt right now. You're gonna be all right?
You doing okay?
I think it was uncalled for. I'm fine.
What did I do? Reset it for the people.
So I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, real time.
I'm just talking about college basketball. Talking about the best teams in the country. You know, who do we give it to?
We don't know.
It's tough. It's tough.
Don't feel good about it.
And you threw out Iowa State potentially. So I said, is Jones the most improved player in the country?
And I said maybe.
And so we started doing this deep dive. I'm just setting this for the people, okay?
Yeah.
Commander sweatshirt hoodie fan guy.
For the people.
And so I said, you know what? Maybe it's a guy like Neal. Neal is one of the most improved players in the country.
I would entertain it.
And then I said, well, how about Ashworth? Like, did you not see the feature? Like, nationally, they're talking about the dynamic duo and what he means to this team and how many minutes he's playing. And you gave me this look like you smelled something real foul, shaking it, like just dismissive that I was a fool for even insinuating. And I'm letting you know I didn't appreciate it.
I did think that was not a – I don't think he's the best player in the country. I don't think he's the most improved player in the country.
But you had to entertain it.
I don't think I do.
With that backcourt dominance they had last year.
Yeah, I don't think I have to entertain that he's the most improved player in the country.
Okay.
Are you not entertained?
Okay,
to be fair, and I would say Neal is more improved than Ashworth, but to be fair, the numbers don't really reflect that for Neal. They're pretty similar.
Okay, what about Golden?
I would entertain Golden.
I mean, he's dominant.
I would entertain Golden.
They got Penn State today.
So the one Jones from Iowa State's the one that I look at and I go, I didn't know that was in there.
Yeah.
Like there's a version of.
Did you love the math that I did in my head over the weekend?
I did. That was. Weekend? I think you have like a little bit of Rain Man in you. I mean that in a nice way, where you just like the.
That's a little off on a few, but I was close.
The numbers kind of just you see them in your head, like the Zach Galifianakis meme, where it's just. You know, you're kind of beautiful minded.
Again, when you have the attention span of a guppy and you cannot study, but you have to be a good student if you want to breathe in your household, you better be able to do something, and memorize is one of them.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair.
I cannot study.
I'm similar. I have a really hard time with like sitting down, studying, buckling down, but my memory's pretty good on certain things, so I get you. From a number standpoint, you've got a better argument with Ashworth than you've got with
Neal.
Than I've got with Neal.
Okay, so you looked at me like.
But I watched them and I go, okay, I saw more of this from Ashworth previously than I felt like I did of Neal. Like I think Neal is a bigger departure from what I knew of him than Ashworth is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like eyeball test tells me Neal. Statistically, you've got a better argument with Ashworth.
So I'm justified in feeling offended that you looked at me
an idiot for not an idiot.
Well, what was the term you were thinking of? If you cuss, you would have been like F no. Like that's how you looked at me. It is.
You asked me the same question.
We're being honest. Like you had a little snooty to you. You can't even deny it.
Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. So wow. If you had to bet on who you think the best team in the country is, because let's get back to the original how we got here, right? You asked me, and like as soon as we cut off the mics for Vinny Iyer, you go, "Who's the best team in the country?" I go, "I don't know," because I don't. But there's some prime candidates, right? The team that I was going with the last couple of weeks that I don't feel great about because I don't love a 9-minute scoring drought against Wake Forest.
I felt like we watched that game together.
Yeah, kind of. We do that with a lot of games.
I feel like
to be fair.
Yeah.
we virtually watch games together.
Yeah.
You, me, and DeMarinas have a little watch party.
Mm-hmm.
We're like,
he's the only guy I can talk to about ladies hoops. So.
I feel like we're about like 2 weeks away from just having little FaceTime parties while we're watching games.
It's kind of weird.
But
I don't know. I
don't feel great about watching Duke go one field goal in the first 9 minutes of the second half.
I told
Wake
Maddie
Forest.
to take a flyer on Florida.
I saw that. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna push back
but is Florida better than Bama? I don't
think so.
I don't think so either.
Like I probably take Bama over Florida, but do I take Auburn over Bama?
So the thing that's scary about Auburn is they showed you that they could win an SEC Saturday night conference football game.
Yeah, they can go
because they're prolific scoring the basketball.
Yeah, that's Bruce Pearl, right?
But that game was not.
That game was the epitome of Bruce Pearl style versus Rick Barnes style, and Rick Barnes won the style battle, and Bruce Pearl still won the game. That's a bad sign for Tennessee. It's also a bad sign for the rest of the country.
That was a heck of a play by Janai Broom, though.
Like, if you can get Auburn into your style of game and they can still beat you, you're in trouble.
So I don't know if I would say Auburn, though.
I feel like I would take Bama. And I don't know if that's just I don't know what that is. Because Auburn's obviously really, really good. But I think my gut tells me Bama. Do I trust Nate Oates more than I trust Bruce Pearl? Is that what I'm doing? Or do I like the talent better? Like, do I like the overall high-end talent better on Bama?
Oh, Bama's pretty good.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm having a hard time nailing down what it is about those two teams.
I could probably get the most plus money on Florida. So I think I may take the flyer on
from a betting standpoint.
From a Warhorse standpoint.
For sure.
But
Ken Palm likes Florida better.
I'm telling you, like
their metrics are really good. I mean, their metrics are really good.
They're good.
Like, but I'm sitting there and I go, okay. I kind of like Grant Nelson. I really like Mark Sears.
Good call.
You know,
Sears is a stud. Sears is player of the year candidate.
And he's one of those guys. Like, okay, tell me
can he take the game over?
So how many times have we seen a Mark Sears win a national title? Because you know what I mean. Like, that's a guy that wins you a national title. Is Broom that guy?
I don't know. He's pretty good.
He is pretty good. But is he that guy?
He's an old head, too.
I know. So is Sears. Is that – do we see – like, I've seen Sears win a national – like, that version of a player win a national title before as taken over.
You think Duke defensively is a product of the conference?
I don't know. I'm having a really hard time telling because that conference
they can flat out defend.
Yeah, but that conference is bad.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know where to draw the line. You don't have to get defensive. You don't live there.
I'm so over you.
You weren't born in the darkness. You adopted it.
I wasn't born in the darkness.
By the time you saw the light, it was merely blinding.
Big Bang guy.
Me too. Big Tom Hardy guy.
Oh, yeah, he's the GOAT.
Like, I've seen more Mark Sears win a national championship as taken over than I have Brooms.
Okay. Are you taking the SEC or the field? You're going to take the SEC, aren't you? Because of Bama, Tennessee, Auburn, and Florida.
Yeah. I mean, because honestly.
So that means I get Houston, I get Michigan State. I get
Iowa State.
I get Iowa State. I get.
I
like Purdue.
You get Illinois.
I get Illinois.
Full strength Illinois?
Illinois did some silly things yesterday. They ended up pouring it. Like, I think they covered, but God, they were beating the brakes off of Northwestern. I liked them a ton yesterday.
I think I'm taking the SEC.
Really?
Versus the field. I like those four teams more than like everybody except Iowa State.
I still have to figure out why. Because I don't love Marquette, but I would not be excited to play them.
That's
to beat them 6 games.
Always how I feel about Marquette is I don't love them, don't want to play them at all. Because they're pretty nasty. Like, they'll get after you. Don't really love them. But I'm taking, if you give me Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, or everybody else in the country, The only teams I like, even in that same neighborhood, are Duke and Iowa State. I'll take my chances with those 4 over everybody else.
Yeah, I'm going back to the well. I'll give you 3. You take your pick.
All right.
Michigan.
Okay.
8.5. UCLA on the money line. And I like Arizona.
You know where I'm going?
Arizona on the money line.
My fighting Mick Cronin's on the money line,
and
baby.
We're going to start this other hot streak, right? Because we're moving in the right direction.
We're riding.
There's 3 of them. Let's go.
With Mick Cronin, master motivator on Bet On It, brought to you by POWERHOUSE Sportsbook.